my friends. I'm East Coast Pete. This is my song, How to Save Rock, on Midrock Crisis. Today, I'm going to bring you The Remains. Now, if you look these guys up, if you type in Remains, it's going to go to Remains of the Day or the movie The Remains. So, type in The Remains Band. The Remains, also known as Barry and the Remains, were a mid-60s rock group from Boston led by Barry Tation. They were not successful commercially, but they were popular regionally. In 1966, they actually opened for the Beatles on the last Beatles tour. By the end of that year, they were done. But their music has gradually become well known, achieving cult status. They were grouped in the 90s and have toured and recorded regularly to this day. In 1964, at Boston University, all four members were freshmen in the same dorm in Kensmore Square, and Tation and keyboardist Bill Briggs were from Westport, Connecticut. Drummer Chip Damiani was from Wolcott, Connecticut, and bassist Vern Miller was from Livingston, New Jersey. They began playing covers and R&B standards and some Tation originals. They were a hit at the Rathskeller, a bar also in Kensmore Square. The crowds soon outgrew the bar, and management opened a disused basement to accommodate the fans. The Remains were a thing. They appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they signed with Epic Records, and their single Why Do I Cry, very pleasant song, and a raucous Bo Diddley song, Diddy Wah Diddy, were released. A year was spent in New York City, and then they moved to Los Angeles. They appeared on Hullabaloo on television and released another single, Don't Look Back, and their album, The Remains. Their 3-week stint opening for the Beatles was supposed to be their big break, just before the mini tour. Drummer Chip Damiani quit. Maybe he was a Stones fan. Future Mountain drummer W.D. Smart replaced Chip, and he was a fine drummer, but the band was used to Chip's style, so the gigs were now awkward, and the band surrendered to the inevitable. And Epic released their debut album a little too late for any fanfare. But if you ask me, Barry could have been a star in an offbeat suspense movie. He looks a little like Peter Lorre at age 19. Time went by. In 1998, the guys reformed and resurged as a club band in New York City and Las Vegas, and a European tour in 2006. New album Moving On was released in 2002. Back in the 70s, though the band was done, their music lived on and was embraced by the new generation of punk/new wave fans. Their music could also be found on the 1972 compilation album, The Nuggets, original artifacts from the first psychedelic era from the Lenny Kaye collection. The Remains' first album was re-released in 1976 by Sire Records. 60s garage rock was in. Single Why Do I Cry was featured in the 2007 movie Superbad. Epic re-released the 66 album. Reviews were positive. Past Magazine wrote, had these Boston bad boys stuck it out beyond their 66 debut, we might today be calling them, and not the Stones, the world's greatest rock and roll band. As it is, the Remains most certainly are America's greatest lost band. In 2008, a documentary was made about the band called America's Lost Band. The Remains story was also the subject of a stage musical called All Good Things. In 2010, Monbo Time about Boston Red Sox pitcher Bill Monboquette, with revenues going to cancer research. Here's the album, 1966, The Remains. The songs are number 1, Heart, Boom, 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 with modulation, really not hi-fi enough. 2, Lonely Weekend, exactly. I was 12 in 66, starting to have them lonely weekends. 3, Don't Look Back. These were hard rockers back then. 4, Why Do I Cry? This is top-notch rave send-up music, and it's mesmerizing. 5, Diddy Wah Diddy. So original, if the leads were updated, this song could have been a retro Ben Harper tune. 6, You've Got a Hard Time Coming. It's got immaculate pop organ. You Hammond B3 fans, take note. 7, Once Before. Straightforward mainstream pop music, superior to most of the Dave Clark Five's lesser known songs. 8, Thank You, a love song. 60s must of hardcore love songs per capita than any decade. 9, Time of Day. It's nearly punk. The band was born too early. And then 10, Say You're Sorry. Oh, I hate it when they do that. Oh, now what's this? Okay, we're back to The Remains. Remember, Remains the band, not Remains of the Day. It's a good movie, but... So, number 10, Say You're Sorry. Not one bad song on the album. That's my opinion. 2002, Moving On. Barry and the Remains, number 1, Listen to Me. Tell me anything, but don't tell me the truth. 2, The Power of Love. Is that a steel blue 61 Cadillac? Shroomy. By number 3, A Man's Best Friend is His Automobile. It's a jawbone kind of tremolo song. 4, Hard to Find, So Easy to Lose, country-esque tearjerker. And 5, Trust Me. I bet the Meat Puppets would totally like this song. And 6, Over You is another gem. It's got it, and I mean by the standards of it. And if you don't know what it is, it's in the bridge of Over You. 7, Time Keeps Moving On. That's the truth. Sometimes it moves on a little too fast for East Coast Pete. Thanks for being with me on my Mid-Rock Crisis. Sorry about the ads. I'll try to edit that out. See ya. Just can't find good footage of this, guys.